Jack it up. Jack it up.
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Blocktalk live viewers from Facebook and YouTube. This is the Blocktalk number 20 about revolutionizing the future, unveiling Islamic Finance 4.0 in the digital era. Tonight, I have the privilege to serve as the moderator. My name is Afzal Izaz, and this Blog Talk is brought to you by Blockwork and supported by Crypto Valley Malaysia and International Blockchain Organization IBO. Before we start, I would like to promote a bit about World Blocktech Forum. Taking place from 15 to 17 of August 2023 at the Esteem Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre, the World Blocktech Forum is poised to be an extraordinary platform dedicated to fostering innovation, collaboration in the domains of blockchain, cybersecurity, and IR 4.0. With Malaysia aspiring to become a global hub for blockchain and cryptography, this forum holds tremendous importance in shaping the nation's digital landscape. There will be more than 30 renowned speakers from all over the world. So don't miss out this opportunity. Get your ticket today. This World Tech Forum is supported by Government of Malaysia, Royal Malaysia Police, Royal Armed Force, and Cybersecurity of Malaysia. So get your ticket by type www.blocktech.world or you can scan this QR code. All right. Tonight, we have an esteemed speaker, Mr. Abdullah Han, co-founder of Qitmeer Network, gracing our stage. We extend our sincere appreciation to him for sharing his valuable insights and expertise on the compelling topic. As the night unfolds, we eagerly anticipate Mr. Abdullah Han's enlightening discourse, which is sure to captivate our audience and enrich our understanding on the subject matter. Without any further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Abdullah Han to share his knowledge about Islamic Finance 4.0. Assalamualaikum, Abdullah Han. Mr. Abdullah Han.
Yeah, Walaikum salam.
Okay, I pass the stage to you.
Okay. So you should allow me to speak myself a little bit and introduce Islam Finance 4.0, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's great. That's great. All right. Okay. Hello, Assalamu alaikum, audience, and my name is Abdullah Han, and I'm from China initially, but I'm currently mostly based in Riyadh and Saudi Arabia and also America, Houston, and me and Effendi, we have been discussed for a long way in terms of what is Islam Finance 4.0 and what is the possibilities and the challenges that is relevant to this concept here, and what is the foundational uh, change that is going to bring to our Muslim Ummah and our community. Uh, from my point of perspective, that firstly, I think Islam Finance 4.0 should be have a new driving force, which is blockchain and AI, artificial intelligence. When you talk about Islam Finance, I think like we can go to uh, four stages. The first concept has been materialized in the 1960s in Egypt with the community bank, right? Uh, that is Islam Finance 1.0. Islam Finance 2.0, I think that is coming up, uh, whereby like Dubai Islamic Bank, Saudi Al Rajhi Bank, and also the Islamic practice, Islamic finance practice from Malaysia as the 2.0. And then Islamic finance is getting popularity globally across the world uh, after 2008 financial crisis. And 2008, after 2008, the financial crisis that is coming up, and Bitcoin was originated by 2009. So, uh, uh, and then after that, Islamic finance was getting global popularity in in so many areas, right? Like in Nigeria, in Africa, in Senegal, and also in China, Hong Kong, and also in UK. So whereby a lot of Islamic finance adoptions across the globe in areas that whereby Muslim is not majority, and which further uh, displays that Islam finance is very inclusive to serve people from all culture background. So I call that one as 3.0. That is the globalization and the global popularity, and there's adoption that is coming up uh, in the many areas apart from Southeast Asia and apart from Middle East, whereby which is the traditional jurisdictions for Islam finance adoption. So Islam finance 4.0, uh, personally, I think is a further acceleration and adoption of Islamic finance globally. But the driving force that is to drive the adoption of Islamic finance concept, it should be artificial intelligence and also blockchain, whereby will make the Islamic finance concept more accessible without boundaries, and we can further stick to Islamic finance values like the avoidance of riba, and also to make a lot of Islamic finance products more transparent, more efficient, and uh, uh, that is in line with our values. Yeah. So giving to the global trend uh, of the blockchain revolution, artificial intelligence adoption, Islamic finance industry actually will face uh, a very intensive challenges like traditional financial system, that either we are going to embrace it or we are going to marginalize. We are going to be marginalized by the new adoptions, new challenges, and new possibilities from the technical space. So today I will be very happy to discuss and uh, what is the possibility and opportunities for Southeast Asia, with particular attention Malaysia, and what the rest of the world should do about it, and how can we learn from the Malaysia, and from that we can open a very wide discussion about it. So moderator, that's it. So that is my understanding about what is Islam finance 4.0, and what is your question, and from your side or from the audience?
Right. Let's say live viewers from Facebook and YouTube, if you have any question, you do comment on this Facebook and YouTube page, World Blocktech Forum. So I have a question, Mr. Abdullah Han,
No.
from the comment.
Okay.
Uh,
So
what is the future, your forecasted future in 2-3 years for the Islamic finance?
okay. This is from the audience, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Okay. Um. So I will talk about what is the current challenges today, and that is prevalent to the whole Muslim world, and how we are going to help uh, use blockchain and artificial intelligence to solve this problem. So personally, I think the most challenging problem of the Islamic finance practice today, that is, we are building Islamic finance institution architecture and structure on the basis of fiat system. which is current monetary system, which is like US dollar and SWIFT structure. Because most of the, let me say, currency that is in the Muslim economy or from the rest of the world is not a real currency. It is only the reflection of US dollar, which means like, let me say, in Saudi Arabia, in Kuwait, and the currency is linked, anchored with dollar, which means what? That if there's a change from the monetary policy from the US and the rest of the world will be affected. So this is the monetary system, and the global settlement infrastructure is based on SWIFT. So SWIFT is a global settlement infrastructure plus the monetary policy from the United States, and also the fractional banking system, fractional banking system. So all of them is based on riba, which is interest. So when we, Islam finance community around the world, build up our monetary system, it is only a reflection of the existing scheme. So you will see that is, if we do not, let me say, have our own monetary system, it's impossible to eliminate interest from our economic system, because of the whole system is built on the foundation of the monetary system based on the United States. So, but right now I think there's a possibility that is like because I'm doing Bitcoin mining for in the last 5 years in the United States, and I think that firstly, Bitcoin is in many ways are very Sharia compliant about as a cryptocurrency that is based on energy, because like fiat system is based on printing without any support, but Bitcoin is based on energy. So the Bitcoin mining process is let me say intensive computing process to translate your energy into money, and there's a fixed supply. So uh, you will notice that is the supply of Bitcoin is much more healthy and organic. It is anchored with energy. And secondly, that is, it's like a decentralized central bank around the world. But anybody can have the right to subscribe the shares of this decentralized world central bank, which is Bitcoin Network. You just have to, you just have to, you don't have to use your money, but you can use your energy. You can use your electricity. So the electricity is like a share uh, to subscribe the Bitcoin network, which reflects your shares in the world decentralized central bank, which is Bitcoin network. So if we, Muslim community around the world, can embrace the Bitcoin and blockchain based on proof of work, and we will find out that is actually we are uh, able to subscribe the new shares of the world's decentralized central bank and also a settlement infrastructure, which means actually we are shifting from petrodollar system to energy Bitcoin system. So this, which means give us solve a very important problem of the Muslim world, that is, we can access to the mintage power of the monetary policy. Because right now we don't have mintage power. Mintage power is the most important power in the world. The current system is backed and secured by the violence, and if we can use energy to anchored by energy, and to use energy to subscribe, or to convert energy into electricity to subscribe as a Bitcoin network, I see that as a possibility to access to the mintage power of the new alternative monetary system and settlement infrastructure will give us absolutely freedom from the government that is in charge of this. So we are taking over back to our mintage power, which means what? We need to have the power to print money of ourselves. But how to produce money by ourselves? Okay, we needed to use energy and electricity, and individually, institutionally. And fortunately, that the 70% to 80% energy is from Muslim community, from Muslim jurisdictions. So if we can anchor the energy with the new monetary system based on blockchain in the future, it will give us a very solid foundation to reinforce our power uh, uh, in the future digital economy and in the future. So therefore, therefore that is uh, because Islamic finance, the most important thing is about to remove riba from the monetary system, and in order to eliminate riba from the monetary system and the circulation of the economy, uh, like fundamentally, we need to utilize blockchain to solve this problem and Bitcoin network to solve this problem. Otherwise, whatever adoption is a further enhancement of the fiat system, a traditional system. So what we do is another version, another reflection of fiat system that is based on riba, and we cannot remove riba completely. We can only remove from the surface, and which is not in line with the fundamental values we believe in, we stick to, and we're supposed to practice. And so I see this is a possibility for the Muslim world. That is the the technical revolution finally empower us to take over the mintage power for the Muslim Ummah uh, individually and collectively. So, and this is the most important mega trend I can see in the future. If the Muslim jurisdictions can anchor the energy with the future monetary policy and the settlement infrastructure, it is going to give us a very very big driving force. Uh, this is number one. Number two is that based on uh, based on that, we can develop so much different use case. All right, like let me say, uh, based on energy, it is very free for everybody to subscribe. It is very just for everyone to access. And a Muslim from Saudi Arabia and another individual from Senegal and another individual from Indonesia, or even a non-Muslim, will have free access to this fundamental settlement infrastructure and monetary policy. And on top of that, we can start to develop use cases in the whole Islamic finance product about sukuk, about zakat, about wakaf, uh, about NFT, and we can build a borderless a liquidity from primary market and secondary market. And because likewise right now, if I'm in Saudi Arabia and I cannot send money to any part of the world, including the other uh, part of the Muslim world, uh, because of the physical barriers and also because of the current partitions, right? But if we can utilize blockchain, we can build a global liquidity market, uh, any part in the world. And this will further enhance Islamic finance that is driven by blockchain, which is becoming more efficient, more transparent, and more traceable, and become more inclusive. And so we can be able to achieve uh, carbon neutrality, financial inclusion, and social justice, and take over the mintage power, the power to print money by ourselves, individually as a Muslim citizen, and collectively as Muslim Ummah from the rest of the world. This is something that I forecasted and predicted that is something very important. And currently, what I'm doing that is I'm doing I'm making two efforts to make this one happen. Firstly, that I'm trying to utilize the waste energy to monetize waste energy to build data centers for AI and also blockchain, and to use the waste energy like from garbage, from the oil and gas industry, or from whatever industry that is has been wasted. So we will monetize this energy to produce, so to empower the data center, and that is for blockchain industry and AI industry. And also, we have been an investor of a high performance blockchain that is Qitmeer, and this one is based on energy, and also we develop various use cases and the possibilities. We want to actually onboard the startups from the Muslim community, entrepreneurs and developers to develop different use cases. Yeah. So our consideration is that is Islamic finance is going to be driven by AI and blockchain in the future, which requires a lot of energy, which requires a lot of hash power, and we as a company will provide hash power and uh, sustainable energy to support the infrastructure for AI and blockchain. And at the same time, we start to invite and channel liquidity from US, from China, from Middle East to invest in this blockchain-based Islamic digital economy. And also we invite different entrepreneurs, different like Muslim technical entrepreneurs from Malaysia, from Indonesia, from uh, uh, from from the Africa, from all around the world to develop their use cases about Waqf, about Zakat, or whatsoever, to make our financial infrastructure more inclusive, more cheaper, more efficient, and transparent. So, and this is something that I have in my mind, and here I pass back this discussion to the moderator. If you have any questions, yeah, so we can be able to interact a little bit.
All right. There are more than 3 questions, Mr. Abdullah Han, after this. So I will tell you all questions or one by one.
Tell me all of them. Maybe I can combine all of them and answer at
All right.
once.
All right. All right. Okay. The first question is any global standards guidelines about Islamic financial concept? Where do I have to get it or download it?
Okay.
And the second one is Islamic Finance 4.0 can change the capitalism system nowadays.
Mm.
And the next question, some country put different perspectives about Bitcoin. Some is digital assets, some is legal tender, and some as commodity. From your point of view, what actually Bitcoin reflects in Islamic finance? And the next question, I heard Mr. Abdullah Han do Bitcoin mining. In current difficulty is high. Is it profitable to do mining?
Okay.
And so and the next question, so next mining energy will reduce.
No, this question is not clear. Mm.
S- so from the first question, you can answer this question.
Oh, I think
Global.
the first question I can ignore it because he can Google it. Simple. Let me go to the second one. Mm.
All right. And the second question
Mm.
is
Okay.
Islamic finance point can change the
Mm.
capitalism.
Okay. This question, I like this concept here, and it's very deep question. Islamic finance can change the capitalism system nowadays. Okay. All right. Okay. So this question actually is a little bit deep in terms of um, Muslim civilization, Islamic civilization. All right. Let me talk a little bit here. All right. So we have several dominant civilizations of the world. All right. We have a Islamic civilization. We have a Western civilization. We have a Chinese civilization. We have a Hindu civilization, and but let me say that this Islamic civilization, let me say, has been dominated the world for almost 500 years, from 1750 to 1258. Academically, we Muslim civilization as an intellectual house, an intellectual hub to the rest of the world. It's the most dynamic and active civilization during Middle Ages, all right, because it has access to all the civilizations, because it is the center of the world during that time. Is that because Muslim civilizations have access to Spain, Western Europe, has access to China, has access to India, has access to Africa, has access to Russia today. So Muslim intellectuals and jurisdictions has been the intellectual house and of the world for almost 500 years. So we are the dominant and the leading force of the world civilization. And after that, because of the westernization and let me say Muslim civilization, Chinese civilization, we all of us, we have something that is we feel proud in history, all right? But after this industrialization, after, let me say, Western civilization has been dominant in the last 500 years, but they use very bloody force, they engage colonization to the rest of the world, they become dominant. So people always equal westernization and the modernization. So today, during 1840, China and Egypt and all the Muslim world actually face the same challenges. How do we, let me say, achieve modernization, industrialization without being westernized? We don't have to embrace the Western culture. We need to maintain our own identity. We need to maintain our own tradition. We need to maintain our own something we feel very proud. We need to stick to our own identity. All right. So let me say in the last 1 centuries, all right. So you will see that we call it Islamic revitalism, and or political Islam, all right, from Egypt, from Iran, from all over the world have a lot of supporters, So we consider that it's okay. We don't have to follow the Western, we don't have to follow the Eastern, we just have to follow Islam, all right. So and Islamic Finance 4.0, from my perspective, that we don't have to define ourselves as capitalism or socialism, because in Islamic society and Islamic ideology, politically, economically, it has all the elements. All right. From one side, we encourage the individual freedom, but our Prophet ﷺ himself is a businessman. All right, and we encourage the wealth creation. All right. So from this perspective, we feel we are very we the entrepreneurship and is deeply rooted in the Islamic culture from the first beginning to the very end prevalence today. And so we are not against Muslim billionaires. We are not against Muslim technical entrepreneurs. All right. At the same time, we from my perspective, that is Islam and Islamic culture always consider about ummah, which is society, and our society that is needed to. We are using zakat system for the wealth redistribution, and we are using waqf system, zakat system to take care of the less privileged, to take care of the the poor class in society. So you will see that is from one perspective, that we encourage individuals to struggle for the wealth creation. We protect his property and his right. The life and property is very holy in our society, and also from another regard, that is we utilize the zakat system to redistribute the wealth, to make our society more inclusive and more just. All right, this is a lot of fundamental values universally, that is accepted and practiced by the Muslims in the past, present, and in the future. So, but today, unfortunately, that Islamic finance values and Islamic finance practice is not the same. Is not the same. All right, we stick to some values, but when we translate, we do not successfully translate these universally appreciated values, shared values, into a successful society, into a successful reality. So this is like our Muslim economy in most of the countries are very poor, are very weak. All right. So we do not translate our the best instrument of development in our hand into a reality. So so that is why I encourage the entrepreneurs from the Muslim world and the talent from everywhere to develop our society, to carry on a responsibility, to through the innovation, through the advancement of the technological infrastructure as a fundamental driving force to enhance the productivity of our economy individually and collectively. So, so that is why I encourage. That is because of the technical revolution, which give us a possibility to uh, embrace and to revolutionize some of our practice to develop a successful use case for the Muslim world. So so the only chance for the Muslim entrepreneurs and Muslims around the world, that is, nobody's going to fight for us. We need to fight for ourselves. We need to fight for ourselves. Do not blame the other people. Like why they are not supporting us. Oh, these people are not supporting us. These people have a lot of money. No. We need to abandon that reality. We need to abandon that mentality. We need to fight for our own freedom. We need to fight for ourselves and do not expect the help from others apart from the help from Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, the next question.
Right. The next question is, some country put different perspective about Bitcoin. Some categorize as digital assets, some as legal tender, and some as commodity. So from your point of view, what actually Bitcoin reflects in Islamic finance?
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Actually, a lot of no, I'm not. Firstly, I develop and I involve with different cryptocurrency project Web3, but eventually, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. That I support Bitcoin as a foundation, and not other cryptocurrency, but Bitcoin. And I will tell you why and how Bitcoin is going to affect the world financial system. So, uh, firstly, we cannot kill Bitcoin no matter which government, because the strongest government in the world, China and the US. China used to have a lot of Bitcoin mining power, but China banned Bitcoin. But it does not mean Bitcoin is going to be dead. But because of China bans Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is further decentralized, it becomes more healthy and organic and secure after China bans Bitcoin. Number one. Number two, that US is the strongest power in the world. They cannot ban Bitcoin because of the democratic system, and also is because of uh, the system of the democratic system, like whereby we have operations in Houston, in Texas, because they have a lot of power and has been wasted. They need Bitcoin miners to take over it. So, a lot of states has a very friendly legal structure to attract mining operations. Yeah. So, but in terms of Bitcoin mining, you have two mega trend, whether you like it or not. Firstly, Bitcoin in developed world and in developing world. In developed world, Bitcoin mining, let me say, is has been accepted by the Wall Street, especially in US. because most of the Bitcoin mining operations has been listed in the stock market and with high valuation, and so the traditional liquidity can pass through from the Wall Street, from stock market, can access to the mining operations. So which means like Bitcoin has been accepted by the Wall Street. And from the other hand, in the let me talk about the Muslim world, and especially in Middle East, UAE and Iran and Saudi Arabia, Oman, you will notice that the largest Bitcoin mining operation investment is from UAE, from the sovereign fund, from the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, and also that is Oman Investment Authority investing in another Bitcoin mining company to reduce the data center, to reduce the flare gas. So let me tell you, firstly, in the Muslim government backed investment for arms to participate in Bitcoin mining, they have several. Let me say, from my perspective, they have some motivations behind. Firstly, Bitcoin is very good asset. Bitcoin mining is very similar to oil and gas mining. We take oil and gas from the underground, and it is commodity universally accepted. We monetize it, we sell it out. And there's a limited supply of oil, there's a limited supply of gas, there's a limited supply of Bitcoin. And so I'm trying to talk to the investors from Middle East. It's very easy for me to attract their investment capital because uh, Bitcoin mining is a digital oil business. All right, we don't have to convince him to explain to him too much. It's not something like very hard to understand because the concept is very similar to traditional oil and gas industry. So that is why and also Bitcoin mining consumes a lot of energy and is very energy intensive and also very energy relevant to the traditional oil and gas industry. So and the investment capital from Middle East is trying to utilize Bitcoin Bitcoin mining as an instrument to hedge the let me say energy cycles. When Bitcoin price is up, oil price is down, and when oil price is up, and Bitcoin price is down. So they use a different commodity to hedge the risk for the security and the performance of the asset portfolio. This is number one. Number two, that is in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in flare gas is a very prevalent environmental problem. Like a lot of gas is flaring for no purpose. Firstly, it wastes a lot of energy. Secondly, it generates a lot of pollution, and there's no successful way to fix this kind of problems because you need to build a pipeline for gas transportation, or you need to build a grid for electricity transition. And both of them requires very heavy investment in the infrastructure to monetize the gas resource. So we all have these problems. But if we can build the data center of Bitcoin and also blockchain and also AI next to the gas flaring site, so we monetize whatever gas from that site immediately without involve the heavy investment for infrastructure, and also we can utilize this data center to support different use cases in Islamic finance and Web3. So we can connect um, let me say, we integrate the upstream of the energy and to the downstream use case of Web3 through the flare gas powered data center, carry smart contract. This kind of vertical integration of the whole value chain is very unique from our business model. And basically, in any country, we approach two departments. The first department, we approach the energy department. Let me monetize your waste energy. Okay. Number two, I will approach central bank and the blockchain foundations. Okay, we're building data center as the blockchain digital infrastructure that is located in your own country, in your own jurisdictions. And let us further develop Web3 revolution and the different use cases. So because of the energy anchored Web3 is different from like let me say Ethereum, because Ethereum is good, but it is security, all right, and 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 the energy-based settlement system should be the future for the Muslim world to for institutional adoptions, and I see that Bitcoin network and blockchain is a very good possibility for Islamic finance industry. For Bitcoin mining, that is, if we can engage uh, Bitcoin mining business is energy business, so we can maybe create a Bitcoin mining school and to utilize the stable cash flow from Bitcoin mining to support the to produce as an infrastructure, as a digital infrastructure to provide investment opportunities for the Sukuk investors. And secondly, that we should utilize blockchain to develop different use cases for the Islamic finance. So there's a serious possibility for the convergence of blockchain and the Bitcoin. We need to utilize this opportunity to further develop Islamic finance. Thank you. Next question.
Okay, thank you. There are two more questions. Is that okay for you?
Yeah. Let me see.
Okay. The next question, will emerging technologies such as Islamic Finance 4.0 really is everyone's life or making technocrats more money or wealthy? And the next question, what is your plan and your vision with Malaysia's blockchain ecosystem? And what advice will you give to our PM, Prime Minister of Malaysia, when you attend the World Blocktech Forum soon, this upcoming August?
Last question that is uh,
Last question.
okay. No. Last question that is make technical credit more rich,
Oh,
or make
okay. This one.
actually it's not against each other. I told you there are two line two lines of our society uh, that is firstly we protect the innovation, we protect the entrepreneurship, and also that is also we need like to encourage innovations from the Muslim entrepreneurs, and at the same time, of course, because of this, because of we have all this infrastructure, we have these technologies, we will make our economic system more inclusive, and as a community and as a society, it's not against each other, and we should encourage more Muslim billionaires, more Muslim entrepreneurs, and to take our innovation to utilize likewise right now. That is, uh, likewise right now, and some of our supply chains from China, some of my investors are from Middle East, and also some of my investors are from Wall Street, because Wall Street have a lot of liquidity, right? We need to channel this liquidity to invest in the Muslim economy, and of course, we need to encourage the participation of all the stakeholders to develop our society. At the same time, of course, I will become something. I will be rewarded maybe from this dunya, and also we need to start to develop our society. So I encourage everybody to participate, and especially the individual Muslim entrepreneurs to develop more unicorns. And how many unicorns do we have in from Wall Street? Are we the dominant power in Silicon Valley? No, we should work harder. All right. Okay. Next question. Thank you.
So the next question is, what is your plan and your vision with Malaysia's blockchain ecosystem? And what advice will you give to our PM, Prime Minister of Malaysia, when you attend the World Block Forum this August?
Mm, good question. Uh, mm, uh, uh, I for Okay, so I will seek for the blessing from His Excellency Prime Minister of Malaysia, and also I will seek for his leadership and guidance in this Islamic Finance 4.0 revolution. Because firstly, Islam Finance 4.0 is a new concept, and it's not coming up from anywhere. It's coming up from Malaysia, and and so far the rest of the world, let me say Nigeria, Senegal, they're still struggling with Islam Finance 2.0 of 3.0, and so don't expect that the leader should be from another jurisdiction. So, and I believe that Malaysia actually is the uh, dominate and the leading force of Islamic Finance 4.0, because despite of the market is relevant small compared to other big populations, but Malaysia has uh, a very complete ecosystem. This is something that is very different. Like firstly, we have a complete and established, sophisticated, legal architecture to accommodate this kind of accommodation. Secondly, that is we have a completely different market, the capital market, the banking industry, Islamic insurance industry, and third, that is uh, our leadership is more open to the new concept that is combined technologies and Islamic finance values. So I will further encourage the leadership of Malaysia to take the leadership of this revolution, and but I can propose some very uh, specific project, like maybe we can start to build a data center in Malaysia to utilize the flare gas or waste energy from Malaysia. And from this data center, we can further develop use case, like in terms of different technical entrepreneurs. I will try to bring investors from Asia, Middle East, and America to set up maybe a Islamic finance blockchain investment fund together with investors from Malaysia, and to develop the, Malaysia as the innovation hub to lead this ecosystem based on Malaysia, from Malaysia, but beyond Malaysia. That is, we can expand our influence to the rest of the world. This is something that I will try to speak to His Excellency about this proposal and these amazing initiatives, which is going to further reinforce Malaysia's Islamic digital leadership globally. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to Mr. Abdullah Han for the Q&A session. Hopefully, the answer this all these answers from Mr. Abdullah Han answer the questions from the netizens and live viewers. Uh, so that is all from Mr. Abdullah Han. Thank you, Mr. Abdullah Han. Right. Before
Actually,
we
I'm
end this,
uh,
okay.
Malaysia in the event during August. So I encourage any if there's any possible partnerships from the audience, and I'm looking for investors, and we are also investing in project. We're looking for investors for data center, but we're also looking for use case that is empowered by this data center. So I'm looking for adoptions and to further develop this ecosystem. So if you share a similar mind, let us work together. All right.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Abdullah Han.
Thank you.
All right. So, if you want to know more about the Islamic finance and other emerging technologies such as Web3, IoT, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, metaverse, non-fungible tokens, Bitcoin, blockchain, and so many more. So, do get your ticket today uh, to the World Blocktech Forum 2023 that will be taking place at Kuala Lumpur Convention Center, KLCC, Malaysia, on 15 to 17 of August 2023. So there will be more than 30 renowned speakers from all over the world, and Mr. Abdullah Han maybe one will be one of the speakers during these 3 days, during those 3 days. So get your ticket today by type www.blocktech.world or you can scan this QR code. This QR code will link to the website www.blocktech.world. And so that is all for today. So stay tuned to our Facebook and YouTube for more Block Talk. We will make as quickly as possible. All live viewers from Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Bangkok, Jakarta, Dubai, London, and all other countries that will not mention. Please do join the live session, or if you are not do not have the times, you can rewatch it on Facebook and YouTube page Block Talk World Block Talk Forum, World Block Tech Forum. We will make Block Talk as quickly as possible every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So let's embark on this exciting journey on exploration and knowledge sharing collaboration at the World Blocktech Forum. Together, let's shape the future and empower Malaysia's digital aspirations. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and good night.